Hey Fruit Faces, I just wanted to share with you some of my favorite foods for staying healthy and trim. And these are mostly low-fat foods that are going to help you lose weight. So oranges are great to start off with, or lemons or limes, any kind of citrus. Grapefruit is a great way to start your morning. You can juice it or eat it, whatever you really feel like. Great way to start the day. I really recommend starting the day with something liquidy, something that is going to keep you hydrated. Of course, I recommend eating or drinking before you eat as well. But I like to do for my first smoothies, if I'm even maybe after I have juice, or instead of juice, I'll just make a date or a banana smoothie. And this also is very hydrating for the morning, which I just feel like is so important. So here's another. This one looks like a Gatorade. I like to have a good ratio of water to the dates. I usually fill my whole 6 cups up with water, almost probably 4 or 5 cups of water plus about 14 dates is about the consistency I like it. And I don't even have a good blender. It gets nice and frothy. I add vanilla and it's just so good, and it fills you up. It gives you lots of energy. It fulfills your sweet tooth, which is amazing. And again, really low fat. Dates are even more low fat than bananas are. And this is not mangoes. Mangoes are in the background in this picture, but this is probably, I think, just a little bit of berries. You can add berries, you can add different stevia drops. And just like freely and a lot of the other high carbers, I don't put any soy milk or anything in with this, just water with my smoothies. And you can do more or less water depending on whether you want a more nice cream or a more smoothie or smoothie bowl. Just depends on how you like it, what kind of mood you're in. I find that the dates are good in winter because you don't need to keep them frozen. Sometimes it's just a necessity to freeze your bananas, and you don't want to be eating, frozen fruits when it's cold outside. Um, but smoothies and ice cream, like I'm saying, in any way, shape, or form, is one of the best foods that you can eat for weight loss. Again, just very filling, very tasty, satiating, gives you a lot of nutrients, a lot of antioxidants, a lot of energy. So, and again, don't be afraid to switch it up with the flavors. I'll go through periods where I'll have certain flavors for a whole season. Like this year I did in winter, I did like a greens, lettuce, and orange smoothie. I've gotten phases where I've done tons of berries, where I'll just crave berries and I'll just eat them. But mostly try to balance it out, with some bananas, because berries are just so low in calories. It's hard to get a good amount in. And even some chocolate syrup on top of your smoothies, some peanut butter. I like to do the powdered peanut butter. I've gone through long phases of doing that. And you don't even necessarily have to mix this all up in a blender. If you just have some nice fresh bananas, just make a lovely, gorgeous, beautiful banana bowl. You can use the chocolate, or you can just use carob or just cocoa powder like I did here. This is just frozen strawberries with the juice right over some bananas. Oh, one of the best things ever. Just love it. You can also use coconut sugar, cinnamon, whatever fruits and vegetables you like. Just keep poking them in. Just keep poking them in there, you know what I mean? So, you've seen my main staples here for the morning, for the breakfast and the lunch. Here you have some baked cauliflower, literally just seasoned with whatever you like, whatever you have. Throw them in the oven and bake those things, and it's really hard to mess this up. I don't use any oil personally. I don't think oil is a health food. I don't feel good when I eat it anymore. and just totally unnecessary because Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, they all taste really good without it. So this is one of my biggest weight loss tips. Of course, salads is going to be on the weight loss list. However, I do not rely on salads. I think that's one of the main weight loss mistakes that people make is they try to eat salads all the time and they just don't have enough carbs. Adding beets to your salad and carrots does up the carb content a little bit, but it's not going to be very noticeable, especially if you're any kind of athlete whatsoever. But that being said, I do recommend a large quantity of salad. They have folate, they have vitamins, they have actually omega acids, fatty acids. They are really, really good for you in so many different ways. Plus they're alkalizing, which really just helps with all functions in your body. So I follow Tanny Raw's advice and try to get about 2 pounds a day. However, of course, I don't do this on most days, I would say. So still hanging in there. With my salad, though, I don't usually ever like to eat a regular oil-based salad dressing. I always try to make my own dressing out of fruit, and I like a sour component, a sweet component, usually a spicy, something for bulk, like whether it's fruit or vegetables, zucchini, things like that, cucumber. They can all make really good bases, and then just extra flavor if you can find it. Cereal is another good low fat idea. However, you want to watch what milk you're using. Of course, I recommend a vegan milk. Some of them have more fat than others. If you're eating just a little bit, it doesn't really matter too much, but if you're eating really big bowls of it and expecting to keep your fats low, that's just really not going to happen unless you're using the quinoa milk, which is what I'm currently using. I like to add a little coconut stevia drops to it to sweeten it up before I put the cereal in there, and it's oh so good. I find it works out well, although by itself without the coconut drops I really don't prefer it. It's not the best, but it's still good with a good cereal. So moving on, fries are among one of my number one things. Potatoes are a huge weight loss tool. They're so low in fat. They fill you up. They're the most satiating food. You can cook them easily. I cook these without any oil whatsoever. I just throw them in the oven for a while and, experiment with it, and which I usually just do. I think I usually just do 350 and put them in there for quite some time. Try not to forget about them. Try not to burn them. And you can do a variety of different sauces. Half the time I just do mustard. You can do spicy sauces. Some people like to even do sweet. It's just so many different things you can do with potatoes. And you can do mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, twice baked potatoes, baked potato skins. Obviously, we do a lot of fries around here, and I am kind of staying away from the ketchup because it seems to be more high in sodium. And I like to try to keep my sodium low as well when I'm wanting to lean out. Sodium just puffs me up, and I think it does that to most people. Just kind of appears to add weight, even though you're not actually adding fat. You're just looking a little bit more puffy and heavy. So I try to just stick to mustard. Beans are another thing. Chickpeas are not the lowest in fat. Chickpeas actually have more fat. I like pinto beans. Those are very low in fat. But again, if you're not eating a ton of them, that's really negligible. But I love beans and rice. That's one of my staples on a high-carb vegan diet. And I'm not scared of the beans, really. I like to buy them dried and save a lot of money. This is a simple chickpea masala, just with tomato-based peas and different things. I love koodles, I love zoodles, I love noodles. I didn't like these at first, but they've really grown on me. I just take my julienne slicer or peeler and just get me some julienne cucumbers or zucchini, or the most efficient and probably filling and cheap is carrots. I highly recommend them. They really grow on you. You can get a lot of different good sauces to go with them. That was just a marinara sauce you saw right there. This is one of my secret weapons, popcorn. I love popcorn with cinnamon and sugar. I love popcorn with mustard. We've eaten popcorn with guacamole and hummus, and we eat it with apple cider vinegar. No, balsamic vinegar is what they like it with. However, I have sprayed the Bragg's liquid aminos on it. I got the spray to do that. This is chocolate. It's actually just carob powder mixed with sugar. and it's mixed with a little bit of water and just sprinkled all over the popcorn, kind of mixed together by hand. It's so delicious. This is a mango jelly that is on top of a rice cake. Rice cakes are very, very low fat, probably a little bit better than doing a toast. However, if you find a good low fat toast, you can really enjoy that too. But I find this way I get my jelly kick, get some good hit of sugar, at a last minute, maybe when I wasn't paying attention, didn't have anything else prepared. And then of course there's always the option to go for some chocolate syrup and mix it with some peanut butter powder and put it on some toast for a real treat. You got to have your treats when you're trying to lose weight every once in a while. You can't just try to restrict everything good from your diet. It's not going to work. You have to find balance. You have to stick with it over a long period of time and realize that it's an everyday lifestyle that is going to keep you looking and feeling your best forever. So that's my advice.